Hello. In this video, we will be going over a new spreadsheet-based Regents Prep planning tool created by the New Visions for Public Schools Cloud Lab. My name is Jared Carano from the New Visions Systems Development Team. The Regents Prep planning tool allows you to easily manage all aspects of Regents Prep planning, from quickly seeing which students are sitting for which upcoming exams, determining which activities should be offered to meet current student need, assigning students into the appropriate activities, and tracking and monitoring student attendance across all prep activities. After the reasons have been taken, having all of this data from each prep activity in one place will allow us to analyze how effective each of your school's prep activities were in preparing students for the June Regents. This analysis will help inform your prep planning for the next Regents by highlighting which activities were most effective and which were least effective. I should point out here that the prep activities we're talking about are the ones that are not part of a student's official program. This tool helps to manage those activities that may fall on weekends, before or after school, or some other time, and are typically paid for with per-session funding. Alright, here's the big picture of how the tool works. First, you will indicate which students will sit for the upcoming Regents in your student sorter. Second, you will launch a Regents Prep planning tool directly out of your sorter. Third, you will record details of each of your prep activities in the planning tool and assign students into those activities. Fourth, you will launch an attendance tracking spreadsheet for each prep activity. Finally, you will aggregate attendance data back to the prep tool on a regular basis to monitor attendance and outreach across all prep activities. Let's take a look at how this works. The tool we're talking about gets launched straight out of your school's student sorter. You may have noticed a drop-down menu at the top of your sorter called NV Custom Functions. Within this menu are custom-built tools that the New Visions Cloud Lab has developed for our schools. Over time, we will be adding more and more tools to this menu, so keep an eye out for new additions in the future. The Regents tool that we're looking at today is meant to pull out students that you have indicated are sitting for the upcoming Regents, so that you can easily assign these students into prep activities. The tool looks through your student sorter in the light blue columns for students who have been marked as sitting for the June 2014 Regents. These students will be pulled into a new spreadsheet with a row for each student for each Regents they're going to take. Once you have indicated each student that you plan to sit, click on the NV Custom Functions menu and click Launch Custom Functions App. This pulls up a user interface with a number of tool options in a drop-down menu. Select Launch New Regents Intervention Tracker from the drop-down, and then click the Launch button down on the bottom left. After a few minutes of processing time, you should get a message telling you that your Regents Planning worksheet has successfully launched. The new spreadsheet that was created lives in your NVPS Leadership Share folder in Google Drive, but you can quickly get to it by clicking on this blue link in the success box message to go directly to your new tool. This is an example tool that gets launched. Notice that some of the columns include data directly from the sorter, such as student ID and name, year-to-date attendance, and progress to graduation status. You'll also notice the name of the specific Regents exam a student is sitting for, the number of prior attempts at that exam, and the highest score achieved so far. Column M includes our best attempt at identifying a programmed course that is related to the Regents exam in question. So for example, a student sitting for U.S. History who is also enrolled in a U.S. History course will have that course number, and teacher name listed in column M. The final column is where you will designate the prep activity that each student will take, if they're taking one at all. You may decide to leave this blank for students who do not need additional prep. Before we can assign an activity, we first have to articulate each of the prep activities we are going to offer. We do this by clicking on the Overview of Prep Activities tab in your planning tool. By default, this tool has been partially populated with some dummy prep activities as examples. You should delete these activities and fill in your own. You'll want to fill in every column that is not green, as green columns will be calculated for you. And be sure to include the Google email addresses of each prep activity teacher, as this is how they will get shared on the attendance sheets we're about to create. After filling out your prep activities, back in the Students to Target tab, you will now see each of your prep activities are available to be selected in the prep activity column, which is column N. At this point, you should go ahead and assign students into the appropriate prep activities. After you've done this, you're ready to create an attendance sheet for each activity, pulling in only those students who have been assigned to the activity. To do this, we've added another custom menu called Regents Tools to the top of your spreadsheet. Clicking on Regents tools, you'll see one of the options is called Launch and Update Attendance Trackers. This will launch a new attendance sheet for each of the prep activities we have assigned students into so far. Later, if you add more activities or change which activity students are in, run this function again to update all of your attendance sheets. When you first run the function, you may need to authorize the script. Just click Accept and then run it again. Click OK to confirm that you want to run it. After it processes, you should get a confirmation telling you that all your sheets were successfully launched or updated. Back in our Overview of Prep Activities tab, we will see that a link has been dropped into column Z for each activity that a student was assigned. Clicking these links will take us directly to the attendance sheet for that activity. The teacher indicated as leading that activity will be automatically shared on the new spreadsheet. In the interest of time, I'm not going to get into the process of taking attendance here. Please see our other video, NVPS Regents Prep Tool, Taking Attendance, for detailed instructions on this process. But you can see that similar data from the sorter has been pulled into the attendance sheet. There are columns to take notes and mark attendance, and columns that automatically summarize each student's attendance in the activity. Back in our Regents Prep Planning tool, we have the ability to pull back and aggregate all of the attendance data that has been taken in each of these attendance spreadsheets. In the Regents Tools menu, click Aggregate Prep Activity Attendance Data. Confirm that you want to run this function, and after some processing time, you should get a confirmation that data was aggregated back successfully. In our Overview of Prep Activities tab, you will then see all of the attendance data for each activity summarized in the green columns all the way to the right. This allows the person responsible for overseeing all Regents activities to quickly ascertain the attendance patterns in each activity across the school. So that's basically it. We've covered a lot in a short amount of time. Let's quickly recap how the system works. First, you indicate which students are sitting for which upcoming Regents exams in the student sorter. Next, in the NV Custom Functions menu in the sorter, you launch a Regents Prep Planning tool, which will pull each of these students into a new spreadsheet with a row for each exam. In the Planning tool, you will establish each of your prep activities, including which teacher will be leading them. Then you assign students into these activities. After doing so, using the Regents Tools menu, you can launch a new spreadsheet to track attendance in each prep activity. The data that gets entered into these spreadsheets can be aggregated back into the Planning tool by running the aggregate function from the Regents Tools menu. For further help with this tool, there is also a Directions Help feature at the bottom of the Regents Tool menu. Here you will find step-by-step instructions on how to use the tool. Okay, that was a lot to go over, so if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me at jcarrano, JCARRANO, at newvisions.org, or email your designated systems team point person. We are also available to walk you through the initial setup of this or any of our other tools. Thank you for watching.